In a system slated to be annexed into the Tau Empire, there was no place for the barbaric piracy of the Dark Eldar. Until the time that they were prepared to attack, Commander Or-Eska was barely able to tolerate the savage raiding and dishonorable tactics of the Black Heart Cabal. Now, their time had come. With ordered effectiveness, the Tau were able to take the Dark Eldar off their guard, swiftly scattering their forces and obliterating all that did not flee back into their webway retreat, where the Tau could not follow. It is unfathomable, Commander Or-Eska later wrote, how this wanton and senseless people could bear any relation to the craft world Eldar, one of the only powers in our galaxy who possess some hope of one day embracing the greater good. Since arriving in the Kaurava system, the Tau commander Or-Eska had watched the Eldar forces closely. Puzzled by their presence, he had endeavored to grasp the nature of their interest in the conflict. Unfortunately, Or-Eska was unable to know the ancient feud between the Eldar and the Necrons, or interpret the actions of Farseer Karis, who led not by strategy in the Tau sense, but by powerful visions of future dangers. To him, the Eldar were on an inexplicable warpath. Although he could not reconcile this with past knowledge of the Eldar, he determined that their presence in Kaurava was incompatible with the greater good. The hot, dry lands of the upper wastes were an advantage to Commander Or-Eska's fire warriors. With their calm discipline and well-orchestrated tactics, they drove the Eldar from the field. Or-Eska ordered his warriors to allow fleeting Eldar to escape. But after the battle, the land was scoured for webway gates, all of which were destroyed. The great commander hoped that in this fashion, the Eldar would hear of the Tau's superiority and benevolence, and one day join them under the banner of the greater good. The Tau Firecast believed that they had learned a great deal with regard to the Necrons in the War of Cronus. It was therefore with some dismay that Commander Or-Eska found the deathless and unreasoning foe headquartered in an entire city, half exhumed from beneath the Emosan sands. His fire warriors had shown themselves capable of dispatching the slow-moving legions from a distance. But who could say what new forms of the enemy lurked in this strange necropolis? A fire warrior, however, is trained from an early age to cleave to truth, to observe the greatest discipline, and to accept all threats with calm reserve. Even the ancient god, the great deceiver, could not cause their rout. Indeed, the wise teachings of the greater good were tried and proved on this day. Following the traditional victory ceremonies, Commander Or-Eska oversaw the careful destruction and sealing of the Necron city before the Sea of Sand was returned to cover it. Commander Or-Eska had personally seen several engagements with the Orcs, and considered them entirely beyond hope of reform. So when the Tau learned the location of the Orc stronghold, directly beneath the Nan Yanoi moonbase, it was only a matter of time before they would need to be eliminated. Although no match for the Orcs in close combat, or in numbers, the strategies and the weaponry of the Tau allowed them to achieve complete victory. The ancient mountain base, which had never before known a successful assault, was split open under the vice-like pressure of the Tau military. The Tau did not hesitate to claim the remote mountain enclave for their own. Teams of fire warriors and Kroot scoured the mountains for orcs who had fled, while survey teams mapped the terrain. It was only after a thorough analysis of the battle that Or-Eska realized that somehow the Orc warlord Gorguts had escaped. Still, there was little doubt that he would not be waging war in Kaurava anytime soon.